Fear. It's either using you or you're using it. In today's discussion, we're talking about how to overcome fear. How can you use your heartbeat racing faster? How can you use your hands getting sweatier? How can you use your mind racing further? That's what we're going to discuss. That's what we're going to figure out, and that's what we're going to analyze here. If you're new here, my name is Jocko Kanchefu. Be sure to subscribe, but if not, welcome back. Here we talk about personal development from A to Z. That might look like understanding who you are, about where you are going and what that looks like, or even letting go of core beliefs that were instilled upon you from those experiences and events. Once again, welcome. Let us begin. I've always found the discussion with my clients about fear very intriguing because it's not a physical thing. It's more of a mental understanding and a spiritual in terms of it is outside of the self in what you believe you can do and what you think is holding you back. It's almost as if it keeps you in your comfort zone, in a place that feels well known, in a place that feels, okay, I'm in control, and stops you from doing what else you can do. So with that idea, can fear be you? Or even better, fear isn't to be scared of, but to use to become more aware of. Let me explain that a bit deeper. If the emotion of fear, that includes a racing heartbeat, that includes struggling to breathe, that includes not thinking straight and uncertainty, or that includes not making the right decision because of those emotions that you're feeling, it may naturally feel right to stop. So not do anything and either proceed in a hurried and uncertain way or to not do anything at all. So let's change that around. What if the fear is trying to tell you something? It's trying to bring something to your attention. For instance, could it be your mind telling you you're about to step into something important? You're about to make a decision that can change the trajectory of X. You're about to do something that you haven't done before that you might need a bit more motivation or positive self-talk in order to step into it. That then makes fear an indication, right? Instead of being something unfamiliar, it becomes something of huge potential. It makes me think of one of my clients where fear was a huge factor in them doing anything. They weren't sure could they do it. They weren't sure if they're able to do it. But no, we had a conversation, we discussed, and it came to the matter of fear doesn't mean you cannot do it. It means it really matters to you to do it. Other side to this is there's a similarity between fear and excitement. Where, as I said earlier, the racing heart, the adrenaline pump, the either paralyzed or ecstatic movement. But if there's two similarities, what's the main contributor to those? Energy. The way you use your energy. Is it in terms of detrimenting yourself or is it in terms of accelerating yourself? If the energy is the case, then it can be redirected. As I said earlier, those characteristics of increased heart rate, sweaty palms, overthinking, that energy and emotion, energy in motion can be directed to something positive. And that can simply start with the words you use. Instead of saying, I'm scared, I'm not sure what to do, say, I'm excited to embark on a new challenge. That mindset shift and perspective and how you see this opportunity, not this roadblock, and how you see yourself conducting this, not being stopped by it. You know what? Have you ever heard of the saying, the more you resist, the more it persists? It's the same concept here. That if you continue to push back the fear, the stronger it will come at you. It's within that resistance that it amplifies. But if you allow it to have its place, recognize the symptoms, they recognize what it's trying to show you, even if you can't find an answer, but it's trying to show you something, and in that is where you can find the redirection of energy. Then the fear becomes weaker and you become stronger. Your mentality, your attitude, your actions, and you maybe even get more things done because you're not holding on to, I'm scared, I'm afraid, I'm not sure where this is going to go, I don't know if I can do this, but much rather, what can I do? And regardless, it's going to move me forward and progress me. Because one thing I assure you of is the people you see online, the people you see on TV, they carry fear as well, but they do it regardless. Do it with fear if you have to. Do it when you don't want to. You hear all these key words and it's emphasizing the Nike slogan, just do it. In the times when you don't want to, in the times when you're not too sure, in the times when you're scared, take the action. Say those words. Put into place the system, the processes, the learnings that you've done. Or just start. Because after a while, it will just become normal. It will just become something you do. It just become who you are. That really kind of encapsulates it, right? If you acknowledge it, cool. You understand it's there. You understand your body is okay going through something right now. Now, because it's not the focal point. The focal point is doing the job, doing the task, saying what needs to be said. That's where your focus is. So now is, I can do this. I am prepared for this. I am ready for this. Whatever that is, your focus changes. When your focus changes, you've reclaimed your energy, you've reclaimed yourself, and you're acting in accordance of who it is you truly are. Not a fearful, frightful person who can't speak, who is always unable to do what they need to do, but the person you want to become. But if you don't do anything at all, that's when the fear catches you. That's when it gets a grip of you and it feels as if you can't do anything at all. Or you shouldn't even be in this situation in the first place and it's a bad idea to even begin. I'm sure you know what that feels like. But our emphasis is on taking that small step, saying those positive affirmations to yourself, those positive words. You know what? Think of one thing that you've been putting off, that you've been afraid of, that you've been procrastinating about because you just aren't fully prepared. You just aren't fully ready for it. Do it anyway. Start the lesson, start the conversation, clean the room, whatever that task may be. Do it. Take action. But just before you do that, make sure you subscribe. So you know what? Overall, I'm thinking fear isn't going anywhere. It's a part of life. It's a part of action. It's a part of desiring something. So if it's not going anywhere, it's got its place and its purpose. That means it can be utilized, it can be ignored, or it can grow further in a negative or positive sense. So if we go on from there, what decision are you going to make? Are you going to let it grow and bottle over and encapsulate you? Or are you going to grab the bottle, pour out the fear, and start to put in words and affirmations and actions that truly reflect who you are, of what you're capable of? You may not believe it, you may not see it, but you can achieve it. I say that to you as an advocate. I say that to you as your virtual coach. I say that to you because you watch these videos for a reason. My name is Kanchefu and I hope you enjoyed today's discussion. If you did, make sure you press subscribe and share this video with somebody you know who's a bit on the fearful side of doing things or even starting things. I'm sure they'll find this helpful. My name is Kanchefu once more. Why don't you watch this video here? If you continue to like yourself, people continue to use you. I'm sure you'll find it useful in your journey in helping you. My name is Kanchefu once more. Have a good day, morning, night or evening, wherever you're in the world watching this. And I'll see you next week for our next conversation.